Well, greetings, NASCAR enjoyers. And yeah, I decided to take a break from the Xfinity Series race because of Le Mans. Yeah, I wanted Toyota to win, but it was still great to see Ferrari win. And in the Xfinity race, Sam Mayer won. Yeah, got his second win of the season. Well, Xfinity Series. But anyways, I'm here to talk to you about the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race in Iowa. And oh man, it was such an awesome race. You see, look. You see that car by me? I know you can't see it because it's on the other side, but look. This is the diecast of, well, what was Rusty Wallace's car. And it had the nickname Midnight. Yeah. So why is it called Midnight, you might ask? Because it's black and, well, it won a night race. Penske had a thing that they do not name cars unless they win races, and they have another chassis that they use for longer races called Midnight Rider. Yeah. True story, by the way. And the car that won the race happens to be, well, I'm actually going to talk about it at the end because I don't want to spoil the ending for you. But here's the rundown. Tire failures do happen on this track. I mean, they did happen on practice, and they happened on the first stage of the race, especially with those Lightning McQueen, Doc, I'm flat moments that you see. Because, well, the track is being partially repaved and yada yada yada. But it was still an exciting race. And yeah, it really looked like that Kyle Larson would have won this one because, well, think about it. He was on pole, and he even did well in the early stages. Yeah, so Ryan Blaney won the first stage. But that is a sign of things to come, though. As in the race itself, Ryan Blaney would end up leading the most laps. And in the second stage, Kyle Larson won. So yeah, he's the favorite. Well, he's obviously the favorite to win for a lot of people, because he's just that great of a driver. You cannot hate on Kyle Larson. You can never hate on him. But then all of a sudden, a caution comes out. Kyle Larson gets too wide and absolutely spins himself out and damages his car pretty badly. Yeah, it was badly damaged, and Denny Hamlin also ended up in that wreck. So both cars had to stop in for repairs. Which, yeah, with Kyle Larson, it was severe damage. Well, not severe damage, but it costed them 3 laps. They were now 3 laps down because of the damage. And they had to they had to try to repair the tow hook and the suspension. Yeah, pretty bad for Kyle Larson, especially when he won the race at Infineon. Yeah, I'm calling it Infineon instead of Sonoma because Gran Turismo 4. But that's what it's actually called, Sonoma. Yeah, things didn't look too good for Kyle Larson at Iowa. And then you had the caution. Well, earlier in the race, you had the caution that involved Kaz Garcia with another tire issue, and he slammed into the wall. And someone, he said Christopher Bell's crew chief said, "This is the most BSing caution I've ever seen. But it is what it is. In the final stage, it's all set up, and since Kyle Larson's out of contention, it was all about Josh Berry. Yeah, it looked like that Josh Berry was going to win, and it looked like it was going to be an absolute swan song for Stewart-Haas Racing, especially when they're closing down this year. But then all of a sudden, he gets passed by a couple of the Hendrick cars, William Byron and Chase Elliott. And then guess who passes him? Ryan Blaney, the guy who was driving Midnight Junior. Yes, I called his car Midnight Junior because, well, let's be honest here, it's the true son of Midnight. Yeah, I called Austin Cindric's car in the last video Son of Midnight, but this one is the true incarnation of Son of Midnight, to be honest with you. That one is an Austin Cindric Freightliner car, but this one is a tribute to Rusty Wallace's old car, and it makes sense considering that Iowa was created by Rusty Wallace himself, and they even named the street Rusty Wallace Drive. So throughout the whole race, it was a battle between Ryan Blaney and William Byron. Yeah, William Byron is now the favorite to win because he has Midnight Jr., the actual Son of Midnight, by the way. So yeah, Son of Midnight, aka Midnight Jr., the true Son of Midnight, leads the race, and it seemed that William Byron was trying to catch up to him. But then he had to deal with lap traffic, and he's just like the Vector M12 Elm Edition in Trial Mountain 30 laps endurance race. He is not as good as dealing with lap traffic as Ryan Blaney is. That's Ryan Blaney's strength, that's where it counts. Just like Ferrari with the pit stops. And because Ryan Blaney had to deal with lap traffic, because one of his side had, well, the other side had older tires and one side had fresher tires because he went with a 2-tire pit stop. Yeah, they're still doing 2-tire pit stops even with the single lug hubs. Don't ask me why. Even though he was on half old tires, he still managed to show his stride. And this is reminiscent of the victory that Ferrari had. They're on old tires, but in the end of the race, it was proven that Ryan Blaney would win this race. He would do it for Rusty Wallace. And in case you're wondering, no, that incident with Kyle Larson was not scripted. That's something you can never script, because it's just that hard to do. It's just another variable that you can't script. That's why NASCAR isn't scripted racing. So yeah, with just 2 laps to go, Ryan Blaney was still in the lead. And his run was awesome, and it was going to be the 3rd win for the Ford Mustang Dark Horse. And on the final lap, he eventually did it. He eventually made his comeback victory at Iowa. After that stint of him running out of gas in Gateway and having Austin Cindric win the race, he eventually wins, and it was an awesome comeback victory. Yeah, an awesome comeback victory for Ryan Blaney. And you just gotta love a comeback story like this, because Ryan Blaney ran out of gas and cost him some positions, but then he just comes back winning. It's kind of like that comeback victory in the Xfinity Talladega race. And just like that, Ryan Blaney won. And you also got to see the rare Ryan Blaney burnout. And the true son of midnight actually wins this race. And I gotta be honest here, I actually love that car. Yes, I do like the Ross Chastain corn car, but this track was created by Rusty Wallace, and it just screams of 90s. It's a throwback scheme that, ironically enough, is run at Iowa. And in the Darlington race, they tried to make a championship winning car from one of his seasons pass off as a throwback scheme. But they actually run an actual throwback scheme in the Iowa race. Ironic, isn't it? So what do I think about the Iowa Corn 350? It's actually a great race. You got to see a lot of action, and even more action, in my opinion, than any other short track race in the NASCAR schedule. And keep in mind, this is a new race to the NASCAR schedule for 2024. And Ryan Blaney won the race. I didn't even see the paint scheme preview, by the way. It came as a surprise. You see, unlike Kyle Larson's win at Sonoma, aka Infineon, this was unexpected. This was an unexpected win. Yeah, you were kind of expecting Kyle Larson to win at Sonoma, aka Infineon. But you weren't expecting Ryan Blaney to win at Iowa. It was still an awesome victory, though. Yeah. It's definitely one of the races that I would rewatch again, and I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I just love that paint scheme, man. And that's why I brought up the number 2 diecast instead of the Dark Horse Mustang that I usually bring out whenever a Ford Mustang Dark Horse wins. Yeah, Lego Ford Mustang Dark Horse to be more precise. But anyways, this weekend has been a great race weekend, and next up is the 2024 24 Hours of Le Mans. So, let's go! Greetings, Le Mans enjoyers, and welcome to a short race review of the 2024 24 Hours of Le Mans. Alrighty, I'm not going to go over every detail of this race as I have to make this review in less than 20 minutes, but I will go over some highlights. In the start of the race, Porsche led some laps until the red Ferrari passes them. Then the 2 red Ferraris had to pit, and for a long time the yellow Ferrari, the number 83 Ferrari to be more precise, dominated the race. But we do get our fair share of retirements as Alpine became the first car in the Hypercar class to retire due to reliability issues. And we also got some other retirements in other classes as well. And also for a long time during the night stint, Toyota was actually leading the race. Yeah. They were doing pretty well. One of the Oreca LMP2 cars, or Oreca if some people like to pronounce it, had an engine failure reminiscent of Denny Hamlin at Infineon. Yeah, I still call it Infineon instead of Sonoma because of Gran Turismo 4. Toyota then gave up the lead, and Cadillac is now leading for the first time. The full course yellow affected the lead change itself. In Le Mans, it's not all about track position, as the outcome is all about the pit stops. and it shows. The lead changes happen after the other cars decide to pit in. In the final hours, there was also a fierce battle between the yellow Ferrari and the Toyota GR010. The Toyota ended up passing the yellow Ferrari. Of course, it wouldn't be a Ferrari without their problems, and in the pits, the number 83 Ferrari had some smoking, but not from the engine. However, they did need to get the fire extinguisher out, which cost them some positions. And then some drama happened. The number 83 Ferrari, which dominated the early stages of the race, had electrical gremlins, which meant that they had to fix the car on the spot. So the yellow Ferrari was taken out of contention after it retired due to electrical gremlins. Yeah, pretty sad for the yellow Ferrari. This was especially disappointing as the number 83 Ferrari had a great run, and 2 hours and 44 minutes in, both red Ferraris also had some issues with the sensors themselves. But we all know that they would be fixed. And there was also a door issue with the Ferrari, but that was also easily fixable, as all you have to do is clip it. Yeah, they had to clip it. One of the Toyotas also had a couple of punctures, including one in the final hours of Le Mans itself. For the battle for fourth, we had Porsche and Ferrari go at each other, and the Porsche won't go down without a fight, especially when it attempted some Jean Girard maneuvers on the Mulsanne Straights. Yeah, that's a Talladega Nights reference, by the way. Eventually, the Ferrari passed the Porsche after a hard battle. The number 50 Ferrari was leading until, well, the aforementioned door issue came in. Yeah, it appears that even the Ferrari Le Mans Hypercars have their issues. The ones that are actually run by the factory Ferrari team itself. The number 50 Ferrari also took out the number 8 Toyota on the end of the Mulsanne Straight, which costed them some positions. Now, to be fair, Ferrari actually had a good strategy, and they had to save as much fuel as possible because, well, they were only down to a little bit. Eventually, Ferrari was able to win the race after having a little bit of fuel. And that is despite the fact that the Ferrari 499P has the same engine as the 296 GTB. Yeah. No kidding, it uses the same engine. But it is a pretty powerful engine, though. While it was impressive that Ferrari won with as little fuel as possible, the red Ferrari to be more precise, it's still not as impressive as their 2023 finish, which was a 1-2 finish. And the 2023 race also had the famous Garage 56 Camaro that sadly did not race this year, although we did get a couple of Mustangs and the Cadillac V-Series R. So, what do I think about the 2024 Hours of Le Mans? It's still a good race, despite that seeing Ferrari win came as no surprise, as they've always been known to win Le Mans since the 1960s, until they were beat by Ford. Still better than seeing Kyle Larson win a NASCAR race. Well, don't get me wrong. Seeing Kyle Larson win a NASCAR race is still pretty good, but he's a top guy. It's not as fun seeing him win as one of the underdogs. I give the 2024 24 Hours of Le Mans a 9 out of 10. It had lots of drama, excitement, and action to make it worthy of a great race, especially when one of the Aston Martins flipped out and caused a full course yellow in the safety cars to trigger. And we had some crashes and some retirements as well, especially the BMW got taken out. Or BMW, as some Germans like to pronounce it. Yeah, both BMWs got taken out and were retired. Sad, isn't it? Since we've been waiting so long for them to come back to Le Mans, and to see them end up like this is pretty sad, but it's still pretty cool to see them at Le Mans regardless. So yeah, I had a good time watching this year's Le Mans. Will Ferrari win next year, or will another manufacturer have a go? Only time can tell. But anyways, this is the Bandito signing off. Catch you guys next time, and peace out. Smaller channels are at risk, and every subscriber means a lot to them. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. And together, we can help drive the YouTube algorithm away from this channel, so that I don't succumb to the fate of other smaller channels getting defeated by the viewer-based algorithm.